Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Train Simulator Classic, aka Railworks. Today we're going to be taking a look at a kind of different edition, especially for me. It is and isn't British. It is the Stainer 8F from Bossman Gaming's, but it's for Turkey. So, a lot of us have seen the absolutely awesome Taurus Mountains route for Turkey that is available on Steam. The route is phenomenally well done. One of the finest routes to have come out in the last couple of years. But, as many of you know, I'm not a big fan of diesel locomotives. The team that did the locomotives, the rolling stock and whatnot, they did awesome. I just don't care for diesel locomotives. They don't float my boat. I love me some tea kettles. And Bossman came to the rescue. So, the 8Fs were a class of steam locomotives designed for heavy freight use in England for the LMS originally, I believe. 852 were built between 1935 and 1946 as a freight version of William Stainer's successful Black 5, and the class saw extensive service overseas during and after the Second World War, per Wikipedia. These things ended up all over, and I'm sure I'll end up doing a video on some of the other 8Fs that are available for the game, but the Turkish ones are the ones that I have because I wanted to be able to make good use out of the Turkish route. So I needed some Turkish locomotives. Now, these are pretty neat. There is a bit of a sad side to it. Unfortunately, there are only 2 locomotives in the pack. I do believe, if I remember right, the pack's relatively cheap though, and it is a standalone. You do not need anything else to purchase it. It's a standalone pack, but it is available directly through Bossman Gaming's, so I highly recommend checking it out. Really adds to the Turkish experience. But 25 of these locomotives were sold to the Turkish State Railways in 1941 for diplomatic reasons, with 7 of them lost at sea en route, sunk when the SS Jessamore collided with Baron Pentland on the 16th of February 1941. It's kind of cool. 2 more locomotives being delivered in 1943, making a total of 20. These were classified as the TCDD 45-151 class, operating until the 1980s. They have a maximum speed of 43 miles an hour, much like their British counterparts. It's kind of interesting. 3 of the Turkish 8Fs have been preserved. I do not know that any of them are operational in Turkey specifically. However, there is one that was brought back to England in 1989 by the Churchill 8F Locomotive Company, where it is operational on the Gloucestershire Warwickshire Railway. I probably butchered both words. I believe there are a handful of other examples in Turkey that are surviving. I wouldn't necessarily say preserved. I'm not dead certain how many survive, but I am pretty sure none of them are necessarily preserved or taken care of or anything, and I'm pretty sure none of the Turkish locomotives are in Turkey operational. but they do still exist, so that is cool. Cool. Now, as I said earlier, there are only 2 locomotives included in the pack from Bossman Gaming's. One is this model right here, 45-154, should be 45-161. With the difference really being the paint scheme. This one's got the red undercarriage, red drivers, white walls, the silver barrel bands, whereas this one is more traditionally all blacked out. But there are some details that change between the two as well. Now, obviously, these have had some extras added on to make them suitable for Turkey's use, such as different headlights. Kind of the little cow catcher added onto the front. Some extra appliances added on. What they do entirely, I'm not certain. I'm pretty sure that's a generator. It looks like a steam generator right there. Probably air reservoirs right there. Don't know what that is. Yeah, and they do work with the Turkish equipment. The Turkish equipment does have this the British style of coupling. Do have a bit of a Bluetooth coupling going on here for some wacky reason. Don't know, but they do made up with the Turkish rolling stock, so you do not have to run passenger trains. You can run passenger freight, whatever you so please. Again, differences between the 2 locomotives, like this one doesn't have the headlight on top. Obviously it's a different paint scheme. Little things like that. Now, there's not a clean version. Doesn't make me sad. Turkey used and abused these like nobody's business. So one might be hard pressed to find an example of these that's all cleaned up nice, but the weathering, truth be told, does not look half bad. And if I'm perfectly honest, it really does not look that bad. Matter of fact, it looks pretty decent. And overall, the detailing's not bad. It's certainly not the greatest. All these rivets are 2D rivets. They're definitely noticeable, unfortunately. The angles are kind of harsh. I actually kind of like the coal load. It looks alright, if only it wasn't copy pasted right there. The texturing overall, it's pretty good. I mean, it does the part. It looks old and worn and used, both of them. And I actually like the exhaust steam. The idle steam on the non-driver variant, or the variant that I didn't make drivable. The exhaust doesn't look half bad. The drivable version, it's kind of thick and black. I definitely kind of prefer that at idle. They look pretty darn good. They look a little bit older, especially up next to the diesel locomotive that's available for the Turkish route. Oh, that's interesting. Some grass floating up here. But anywho, yeah, they look a bit dated, but not too terribly. They're not quite to the antique Black 5 and 7F level of antiquated, but they definitely look a bit dated as far as modeling goes compared to similar locomotives such as Caledonia, Victory Works, even some of Digital Traction stuff. These look a little old. But let's hop in it. And see, now the smoke went to normal, which is so very odd. Check our track, be sure we're not going to run into anything. Well, that's interesting. Side quest. This way. I don't see anything out here that has weird sets of tracks. I don't know why I noticed that. It's over here, right? Showing up on the map anyway. Oh goodness. Computer's struggling. Anywho, now that we've gone on our little side quest for a second, couldn't help myself. I saw that and I was like, huh, seems odd. Anywho, back to our... yeah, it's supposed to be like out over here. Wacky. Back to our locomotive. Whoops. Inside the cab, it's gonna be pretty typical 8F to your British 8Fs. Lots of bells and whistles to play with. Texturing, again, looks pretty darn good. I actually really like it inside the cab. And the rivets are actually 3D inside the cab. Pretty typical of Boss Band Gaming. You can play with pretty much everything. Windows, roof. We got all these for our headlights. So front left, front right, top, cab light, which I believe we gotta turn on a generator first. So you gotta figure out which one that is. Air compressor, we already hear that running. Turbo generator. Here it spool up, it goes more. But it doesn't put any steam out, which is kind of entertaining, but you definitely can hear it kind of spool up in the background. I love those headlights. Not too keen on the starburst effect going on, but I love the color, I love the look. These are some of the best looking headlights for a steam locomotive in game, like, period. Maybe rivaled by like Machine Rail, but oh my goodness, I love those headlights. They're nice and orange. They're not obnoxiously bright. I mean, they look the part. They really look good. And the cab light even looks pretty decent. It looks like an old bulb. It could look, I don't know how you make that look better. It definitely looks like just an outline on the wall rather than a glass bulb. But, doesn't look bad. How bad does cab light murder my frame rates? 33 looking forward. 33, 34, so. Cab light doesn't absolutely murder my frame rates either, which is a bit of a rare sight in Train Sim. But let's see, turbo generator, obviously our air compressor, sander isolation valve, whistle. On both sides. Should be left injector, right injector, gauge isolation handle, drain cock, drain cock, throttle, firebox doors. Go ahead and open it up. Steam sander. Left is lead, center is off, right is trailing. Well, let's just do trailing for giggles and squiggles. Unfortunately, well, hold up. Do we have to click to open, close? Sandal isolation valve. Now it's open up the rear. No? Yeah, it doesn't make a difference. So unfortunately the sanders are not modeled outside. Dampers. Lift to open, which they are open. Rear, front. Got the front to about halfway, make a little backdraft. Injector trimmer valve, seat. The doors. Doors can be opened. Which I do believe they translate to the outside. They sure do. The audio cues for all this is really cool. Quite nice. The left injector tender water stop valve. I don't know why the handbrake hitbox is so far over. It's huge, but it's hard to miss it. But right injector. Don't think we get anything else on the tender. Yeah, that looks about it. Driver's seat. Should be cylinder cocks. Should want those open. Reverser lock. Push, hold E. Our window goes through the brake handle, so we'll go ahead and close that. So loco brake, train brake. Does work right and proper way. I like it. I like it a lot. See, tracks are set up so you can actually get out. Cool beans. Am I missing anything? Blower. Gauge drain, gauge drain. Let's hop over to the fireman's side. Firebox. Looks pretty good. I don't dislike it. I think it looks pretty decent. Hop over to the fireman's side. Nothing really special over here. What a whistle. I forgot about that. Oh my goodness. That is one of the most entertaining whistles in game. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Come over here because it's easier. But yeah, there's your whistle. That adorable little. This. Oh, that's so funny. Little bitty. Little tiny. Oh, by the way, the sounds are the same on both locomotives, so not missing anything by me not jumping between them. But anywho, let's get it on the road. It sounds like the little the fake whistles. You blow in the fake turbos. That's what the fake turbos. You blow into them, the turbine spins up, makes a wild noise. That is exactly what that sounds like, and it even spools up and winds down like that. The beaky will play the little short toot. Anywho, these are advanced locomotives, so definitely keep that in mind. Open our cylinder cocks here. in our pretty sure you can spin the drivers. Maybe not. I don't know where cylinder cocks just disappeared to. Even got a water tower modeled. It's quite nice. Again, it is an advanced model, so it does take a second for your throttle to respond. There's nothing for the fireman shovel rate, unfortunately. That's just pressing the R key. Oh goodness. Go ahead and shut those off. Do not believe there's a speedometer, so you gotta just kind of run these by ear. Chef sounds aren't half bad. I kind of wish they barked a little bit more. I wish they were a little bit louder, but they're not. Oh well. And the whistle is so entertaining. Or reverse gear back. Control R will enable the automatic fireman if you would like the automatic fireman to do automatic fireman things. The brake sounds are pretty nice. And the add speed sounds are pretty nice. I kind of like them. They'll pull a decent bit of weight. I have actually run end-to-end on this route a couple times now using these 8Fs. And I have enjoyed them a lot. Like I said, nothing against the guys that did the route. The diesel model is really good. I like steam locomotives. And these make this route a lot of fun. Bit of a challenge to run too when you get up in the mountains. I can't with that whistle. That is so funny. The seat here will enable and disable your automatic fireman if you care to do it the hard way. Does not work for the driver though. You still gotta be the driver. Runs pretty good. It looks pretty good. does start to get a little bumpy at speed. Pretty decent though. Pretty decent. Let's go ahead and start braking. Killer throttle. Brake pipe pressure right there. I don't know that you can lock the brakes or lock the wheels. Yeah, unfortunately not. A little bit sad there. Oh well. Matter of fact, I don't even know that the brakes physically function. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't look like the brakes function, unfortunately, so. Oh well. Anywho, anyways. I keep pushing that. But, yeah, there it is, guys. The Turkish 8Fs. The Turkish Stainer 8F by Bossman Games. It is available directly from their website. It is not on Steam, so link in the description. I highly recommend checking it out, especially if you enjoy the Taurus mountain route. Definitely worth a video in and of itself, but I simply have not had that time because this route is massive. The amount of content is massive. I really don't know what's going on with that. But if you enjoy the Turkish Taurus mountain route and you enjoy the Turkish content, but feel like you want some more variety to your motive power, definitely go check this out. This thing is really cool. I love running it. I have an absolute blast running it up and down this route. It's really fitting. It's really fun. The only unfortunate part is those water towers and whatnot along the route are not functional. Makes me a little bit sad, because these will absolutely burn through water whenever you start getting up the mountains and really pulling. But it's not too hard to edit in a scenario or whatnot if you want a couple stand-in water towers or whatnot to fill up. So other than that, there's really no issues. But yeah, so definitely go check it out. If I remember right, it's relatively inexpensive too. It's not a very expensive pack, so I like it. I think it's pretty cool. So definitely go check it out. Link in the description, and I will see you guys next time.